Hello and welcome to the Liverpool Way podcast. Liverpool were beaten 3-0 for the second Premier League game in a row on Saturday, but this time it wasn't a tough assignment away to Manchester City. It was at Anfield against Sean Dyche's Nottingham Forest team, who began the day second bottom and walked away from Anfield fully deserving of the points and the margin of victory. It was our joint worst home league defeat of the Premier League era, and it leaves us 11th in the table after a 6th defeat in 7 games. What was a worrying slump is now undeniably a full-blown crisis, and Arne Slot must find a way out of it. There are now some serious doubts over whether he's up to it. I'm Chris Smith, and I'm joined by Dave Usher and Julian Richards. All three of us were at Anfield yesterday. Dave, we waited until Sunday night to record this. I was woken up at 5 a.m. this morning by one of those, those calf cramps where you overstretch a little bit, and it just pops. And I was literally screaming, but deep down I was just relieved I wasn't at the match anymore. So how are you feeling tonight, more than 24 hours on from just that debacle we saw yesterday?
I'm okay. I've just watched the Bears win, so that's lifted my spirits. I mean, is this where we're at? Where the Bears are more likely to be winning games than the Reds? I don't know how we've got here, on both counts. It's just depressing, but I'm kind of resigned to it. I'm not even angry about it now. It's like I feel like it's just a case of I'm not going to be calling for his head or anything, but I do think that that's where we're headed. I don't see any way that he's going to get out of this now, and I do feel like we've seen this movie before quite a few times. We know how it ends. We just don't know when it's going to end. So I'm just biding my time, just waiting to see how it all plays out, because I feel like we know where we're headed here, and I take absolutely... I'm not going to say take any pleasure in it, because why would I take pleasure in it? But, I'm hoping that I'm wrong, but I know I'm not. I know he's not going to get out of this. That was so, I think my biggest problem with that yesterday, some of these games we've lost, clearly it's okay, he's been out-coached there, the tactics are wrong, and if you change this, then maybe we can improve, and if you do that, and you get all the tactics nonsense doing all the videos about and there'll be some this week, I guarantee there'll be something about how Sean Dyche came up with an amazing plan to beat Arne Slot, and it's all bollocks. It for this particular game, it's complete bollocks. I'm not taking anything away from what Forest did, because Forest did exactly what they needed to do, and they did it well. But it was basically, they did the basics, and we didn't. I think that game yesterday, you can sum it up by saying they won that game 3-0 because they blocked all of our shots and we didn't block any of theirs. Because we had so many situations in the box, especially the first half an hour when we played pretty well. So that's not tactical. The tactics were working fine. We didn't get the goal because every time we got it to the byline, cut it back, someone gets a shot, they threw someone in front of it and they were blocking it. That's what Sean Dyche teams do. They've always done that. You go back to Burnley, they were the experts at doing that. It's hard to score against them because they want to defend. That's their identity, is they thrive on that, throwing themselves in front of shots and being hard to score against. And then you look at what happens in the other box. When every time a ball was cut back or there was a loose ball in the box, they're running onto it unopposed, nobody in front of them, and they're getting shots away. I remember one shot that we blocked, which was late in the game, and it was fucking Chiesa, who'd come back from centre forward into his own box to block a shot. That tells me all I need to know about this team now. It's not that they're going out and they're not trying, but they have not got that desire to be doing the basics right and fighting and scrapping. That's not who they are anymore. That they just haven't got that in them. Chiesa's got it. Chiesa plays every game like it's his last. Now, that's not me saying Chiesa should be starting every week. That's not my point at all. My point is, when Chiesa's on the pitch, you look at him and go, he's playing this like it's his last ever game. It means something. The rest of them, are they playing like that? Some of them are playing like it should be the fucking last game. And that's my problem yesterday, is Forest are throwing themselves in front of shots, they're making tackles, they're doing all the dirty work. We're doing none of that. Now, ultimately, that does come from the manager. The team is a reflection of the manager and all that. It's his job to be firing them up to do all of that. But there's also got to be some element of personal pride with some of these players as well. And they just quit yesterday. We were fine for half an hour. I thought we were playing pretty well. Mo and Cody were doing doing little bits and pieces, getting to the byline, cutting it back, and I thought, okay, this is not bad. A goal feels like it's coming. And then they scored the first attack, and that was that. We had no response to it at all. We were lucky it was only 3-0 in the end. The way they just completely folded after going behind, that just tells me that this team is done. And regardless of what we think about certain players and like they're not doing it and they should be better, ultimately it always comes down to the manager. It's the manager that ends up paying the price for all of this, but it's not completely... Like yesterday in particular, I'm not looking at that and going, oh, Slot's got his tactics wrong and this and that. Now, you can say what you want about what he did, chasing the game and all, like the mad stuff he's done there. I don't care about that because we were not going to score playing the way we were. So if he wants to go and do something mad and the off chance that might work and then you get a goal and the crowd's up and then momentum shifts, I don't care about all of those changes that he does because you've got to try something different anyway. But it was more to do with just looking at the players and looking at them and going, no, you've got no belief, you've got no fight in you, and you're just playing out time now. And then I haven't seen it, but apparently Virgil's interview afterwards, he looked absolutely, totally crestfallen about it, and he's talking about like players have got to take responsibility, and I'm not sure that everyone is, and stuff like that. We had Robbo saying the other week about there's not enough fight, and it's true. I'm not completely absolving them of any of that, but they're not ones who are jumping out at me and I'm going, yeah, you need to be doing a lot more. Maybe Virgil, but look at what he's got alongside him. Yeah. And that, as much, I'll get on to Konate later, I've got plenty to say about Konate, but as much as I'm pissed off about Konate, again, that comes down to Slot because there's no accountability there. He can just produce shit performance after shit performance with no consequences at all. His place is guaranteed no matter what, and you've got Joe Gomez sitting there on the bench. Van Dijk must be thinking privately, he must be thinking, fucking get Joe Gomez in the team next to me. They've always had like a great relationship. They've had a good partnership when they've played together. And now he's got this fella who does not give a fuck. Konate's checked out. He's completely checked out. He's not interested. And it's making everybody else in the back line look worse, I think. And yesterday, he was a disgrace. He was an absolute disgrace. And then he's smirking after he comes off. It's like, fuck off. I would never pick him again. I just wouldn't. Yeah. You've got to send a message that is not acceptable. But... he's not going to do that. He hasn't done it before, so why is he going to do it now? He's just going to keep picking him. And again, that's part of that. That comes down to, as much as we can all point the finger at Konate and say you're a disgrace and all that, well, he's not picking himself, is he?
No. Jules, Dave mentioned there that we've seen this movie before and we know how it ends. And I thought yesterday was a little bit of a sort of telltale sign, one of those games where you realise it might be done. Like we've seen it a few different times down the years. Just the agonising sort of celebrations down at the other end. The rising of seats from our slot, like getting off and that kind of stuff, and just the sort of dour nature of the resigned nature of the fans as well in the ground, the resigned nature of the players too. Is that how you view this, or? Is this like the lowest ebb of this run you've seen, and where do you think we go from here?
Oh, we could definitely go worse, because I don't see this. I think there'll be like one-off wins, but there's no coherence in the team at the moment. You could get a dartboard and you could put a different problem, a different topic on each section of the dartboard, and wherever you hit, whichever topic you hit would be like, yeah, that's a big problem. There are massive problems all over the place. And when you encounter this many problems all at once, they're insurmountable for the manager. Like, it's just because part of it is his fault. As Dave alluded to about like selections and Konate being undroppable, for example, he's alienated parts of the squad because he's not inclusive with players. Like Harvey Elliott's not playing at Villa. Like, who amongst us wouldn't have killed for a bit of Harvey Elliott yesterday? Not because Harvey Elliott's an absolute world beater player, but he gives a shit when he's on. Like Chiesa, he tries, he plays every game like he's trying. It's his last game. There's none of that at the moment. None of it at all. And it's weird because it is a bit... This has gone very bad very fast. We just won the league. Now we had an awful title defense in the COVID season, but mitigated by COVID and a horrendous injury crisis, and that team thrived on crowds, and they weren't, and it was all you could point at these problems, and some of them were external. No crowds, that's beyond the players' help, and we all knew that team thrived on crowds. So fine, that's beyond their power. The injury crisis, again, the club were prudent with. We haven't got any money coming in from external income, so we're not going to be buying a lot of players. So again, okay, yeah, you point to it. You go, I understand. The injuries. I understand that all this makes sense. This though, like people say, players can't up what they pay. That's fine, but when you spent the thick end of £400 million on attackers, and the attack is not an attack, it's a blunt object. It's a child's plastic hammer used to hammer, used to pretend to knock like plastic screws into a shallow piece of wood. There's nothing up front. They look like strangers. There's no interplay. They don't look like they trust each other, know each other. The cutting edge is zero. That's not the only problem. The defence is leaking goals all over the shop. Like, Alisson was not to blame for any of those goals yesterday, but he conceded 3. Well, maybe the third he could have done a bit. Doesn't matter. He's not the problem. But like, the defence is conceding goals from set pieces all the time. We can't score, and I just don't see any sort of recovery. Like, this just has the stink of Rodgers' final full season, not the season when he was actually fired, but the season before, the Ricky Lambert season. And it was just like, there's no solution you can come up with to fix this problem. These problems are now insurmountable for you. They're on top of you. You're buried underneath them. I don't see how you fix them. And it's mental that somehow he won the league last year, and now we're having discussions about, is this it for Arne Slot? Whether I think he should be sacked or not is kind of immaterial, because it's a question of, do you have the confidence that he could turn this around? So whether I think the club will sack him, whether I want him sacked, it's more like, do I think Slot can turn this around? And I don't think he can, because now I think the players are tuning out his instructions.
Yeah.
They're not playing with intensity. They're like, how true the stats are, I don't know, but like, Terry showed us a graph of like the number of tackles won by, on average, I think it is, over the last 6 seasons. And this season's dropped off a cliff. It looks like someone's got an Excel spreadsheet and hasn't entered in the data for this season. So when you look at it, you go, oh, that's obviously wrong because the data's missing. But no, the data's in there. The intensity, the tackling, everything. And as Dave said, Forest scored yesterday because we didn't block shots, and when we didn't score because they did. And I read Verge's words to reporters after the game, and yeah, he talked about accountability, and it's not on Slot, it's on the players and all this kind of stuff. And I think maybe he believes it, but there are definitely elements in the squad that don't, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring it up now because I don't want to bring it up all pod. But Robbo's words after the Scotland game earlier in the week resonated. And it is easy to forget that there's been a major tragedy at the club in the summer. And to be honest, nobody at the club is more affected than the playing staff, I'd say. The fans are affected, but we're not as affected as the players. We didn't know Jota personally. We knew him as a player, but we didn't know him personally. He was a friend, a teammate, a work colleague, whatever you want to say. But they lost someone close in the summer. I have no doubt that has affected players, and it'll affect different players to different percentages. But that grief will still be there, even at elite level sport. It's just, you can be an elite level athlete, but like, to lose someone in a tragic and sudden way, you'd have to be a bit of a psychopath to just be able to put that away and go, not bothered. Of course you're bothered. And so I know that sometimes when people talk about the performance of the team this year, they use that caveat, and it's a fair caveat. But the only thing I'd say is, our playing style wasn't great last year. There were questions about how we were playing last year. So this isn't like, while some of it might be players are on a downward turn because of what's happened in the summer. That doesn't get away from the fact the style of football wasn't great last year, even on the way to win the league, and now it looks absolutely putrid. We are not creating chances. We are not like peppering the goal. There's no pace. There's no aggression. There's the ball moves from east to west, not north to south, way too often on the pitch.
If I can come in on that point specifically, Jules, I got a little bit more of a sense of what you guys are, because obviously you guys are at Anfield more often than I am. I got a real sense yesterday of what you guys had been talking about with just the way, with that east to west movement, how demoralising it is to sit in that crowd and watch that. You can just feel the air go out of the place all the time. Like, it's so slow, and you just, no one's really kicking off about it, but they're not really. I don't know. It's just
you're
weird.
The
There's
vibe.
almost a resignation. Yeah,
you're not
Completely
utilising Anfield. You're taking away the power of Anfield by playing like that.
It's a sleeping tablet of a tactic. It is just, as you say, it takes the air out of it. It goes back and forth, switching the play, not working any openings. There's no cleverness, and partly it's because the front three are not a front three. They are just three players up there. They are not. They are. Again, it's really easy to hark back to the glory days of Bobby, Mane and Mo. And this is the glory days of Lambert, Balotelli and Barini. These are three lots of players who are not clicking at all. Isak, full disclosure, if Newcastle fans want to take the piss, they've got 100% reason to take the piss. This would be hilarious if this was a player that left us in that way and went to another team and this was happening. He looks
like Torres for Chelsea, isn't it? Pretty much.
Yeah,
like that's a similar situation.
He looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't look like he knows where he should be. There's no connection with the midfield, with the wide players. It is a thankless task he's doing up there, and I'm not even sure he knows the task he is doing.
Yeah. No one's looking for him though either, are they? He's just wandering around in the middle or having to come out wide to get involved. And
it's the same when Ekitike plays.
Is occupied the centre backs in Slot's system. I told you this last year. Your role is occupy the centre backs. Just stay in the middle, occupy the centre backs, and you don't get the ball. I think Isak touched the ball 4 times in the first half. I was counting, and it was like 4 or 5, and a couple of them were like contested duels where he just got a touch on it and flicked it on. He wasn't getting on the ball and doing anything, and it's not his fault.
It begs the question, why have you signed two strikers of such high amounts?
Because, Jules, it also needs to be pointed out here, by the way, for all like the people who are like going on about, Ekitike's been great. No,
he hasn't.
He's done fuck all for 2 months.
I know.
And I'm not blaming him for that. He goes away with France and he's great. I'm like, I wonder why that is.
Yeah. No, I was about to come on to Ekitike. It's like this myth that Ekitike, no, he's been shit since about September. This is, but there's a malaise, there's a problem. And look, football is sport, team sport is this. If the team isn't performing, you cannot get rid of the entire squad. It's not possible. You only can get rid of one thing, one common denominator, and that's the manager. Now, I don't know where the hierarchy of the club or FSG are with this, because, it's complicated by the fact that he's a league-winning manager. This isn't like this was,
and it's complicated by the fact about the tragedy that you just referenced as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But
and the fact that they hired him, Edwards and Hughes hired him.
But so there's again like dartboard. There's so many things you can point at, but like to try and just, I'm going to really try and simplify it, and then because otherwise I'll be down the rabbit hole. But I used to say, imagine how different it would have been if Rodgers had won the league. And I reckon the same season would have happened the year after had we managed to win that league. Suarez still would have gone. In fact, he'd have gone with everyone's blessing because he'd won us the league. And then he's like, I'm off, lads, into the sunset. And we'd have gone, thank you. Right? And
we'd been in the same with Trent.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think Suarez is far more of a mercenary than people thought Trent was.
It's different as well because his wife's family live in Barcelona and all of that stuff.
Right?
It's more like Luis Diaz, maybe.
Yeah, right. And so
more like that.
Would they have been so quick to fire Brendan Rodgers, league-winning manager? Right, because that's the question. Like, Is it now? Is he going to be slightly protected? He's won the league. So
well, he got the full
he's done
season, didn't he? Like, Rodgers got the full next season, and it was the season after when he went. Just you mentioned this earlier, Jules, and you said it feels like his last full season, and it does.
Yeah.
I'm halfway through the match report, and I've mentioned that myself. The one difference is, though, the squad that he had was fucking shit. And
he was dealt a bad hand.
When Klopp came in...
Who dealt him that bad hand?
I know. Yeah, the fucking genius, Michael Edwards. But no, when Klopp came in, remember he said, nobody likes this Liverpool team. Not even this Liverpool team likes this Liverpool team. Remember he said? But he was like, but I do. I see good players. Which, that was his strength. It was like, he'd make everyone feel like $1 million, even if they were shit. He still made them feel like they were something. But it was a terrible squad. So there was a you could see why we were shit. You know, like that last season under Brendan, you could see why we were shit, because you mentioned the front three before. Well, look at it now. Look at it on paper now and on paper then. And you're like, well, yeah, I can see why we were shit then, but this should not be happening now.
No. So I don't know whether the hierarchy are going to give him the season. I don't think there'll be any pulling of any triggers unless it becomes that we're in like the bottom 5.
It has to get
January.
really bad before the fans will turn before they will do anything.
Yeah. I think if we're in the bottom 5, and I know that sounds laughable, but you've got to be realistic about what's been happening. If we're in the bottom 5 in January, I think that might be a trigger pull. But if not, if we sort of mill around mid-table, I think until the Champions League becomes unobtainable in the league, or we're knocked out of it, and then they might just go, right, well, you just play out the season, but you'll be gone this summer. We'll start looking for somebody else. I think he'll get this season unless the league becomes an absolute embarrassment. And it is embarrassing.
Yeah, I do too.
It is embarrassing. Whether people want to say it or not, it's embarrassing. You've spent £400 million. You're league champions. You've spent £400 million. Your two most expensive signings in club history, £240 million. It's like a number that's not even real to normal people. It's just a bunch of zeros. It's like Neo in the Matrix, just a bunch of code to us. We can't. But it's £240 million to have Wirtz playing like Rafa's little mute boy who sat on the bench with him. Not just an absolute lost at sea little boy. Doesn't know what can't get into games. Too physical. Not doing anything. Creating chances. No one's scoring. Boo hoo. And then you got Isak, who looks like he's wandered into the wrong party and gone, oh, hang on, I don't think this is where I'm meant to be. Is it the plough I was meant to be at, or the?
But we was going.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. He hasn't been told that it's been cancelled. Yeah. Canard, you can say that again, bruv. All right, honestly, it's. And the hierarchy want to be embarrassed. They hired Slot. They've bought these players. They've given it the big smartest guys in the room thing. All I keep coming back to is, you lot thought Naby Keita was worth waiting a season for. You thought he was worth £65 million. I think it was. You thought this was going to be a revolutionary player for us. And he came in and he did all right for a bit, and then just sank into the mud like a Atreus horse in Never Ending Story, just completely just
Bring
gone.
it back, Jules. Bring it back. Come on, you go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, but Naby Keita is the sort of poster boy for Michael Edwards, and I'm dead smart. Look at all these numbers on the paper. He's going to be great. And he came in and he was okay. And I'm now seriously worried that these players, who you think are going to be great, are they all good on paper, but when you're actually trying to put them on the actual grass, they're not fitting this system at all. And they want to be embarrassed that they've spent that money. They should be answering questions to the fellas in Boston. I'm like, yeah, I know we spent all this money.
They're just culpable as Slot, but they won't carry the can for it. It'll be Slot who carries the can.
Yeah.
You also got to wonder, really, you say this system, what is the system?
Don't know.
We don't know. Nobody knows, do we? We don't know. And it is the crab football. It is the slowness, but it's also like you've both said before. It's the fight. It's the commitment. It's the one thing I noticed yesterday as well is just the reaction times to everything. We're not just slow to get in the tackle or slow to get a block in. We're slow to react to everything. Like they're all just so switched off. Like if you look at the goals we conceded yesterday, the first one, the centre half for Forest does a great job. Reacts first, bang, it's in the net. Like the second one, just after half time, we obviously like we're supposed to think, all right, come out second half, change it through things.
Yeah.
Things will get better. And within 30 seconds, they're sleeping. Maka puts in a half-fast challenge. The ball cuts across. Cody's on his heels. He's not sure who to cover, so ends up covering neither. That's 2-0. The third goal, Amari Hutchinson just cuts in between two players. Someone else is late out to meet him. The shot gets away, comes straight back to a Forest player. One touch, it's in the back of the net. So it's constant. It's fucking everything, right? Like if you're not gelling, like you say, Jules, with the dartboard analogy, if you're not gelling from an attacking perspective, if you're not playing good football, if you're not creating clear opportunities to score goals, and you're leaking from pretty much all angles, plus you're not showing up for the fight, and you're not on your toes, and you don't look like you want it, you got to have serious doubts whether there's any coming back from that, because there's just no redeeming qualities about any of it at the moment.
No.
There's nothing you could look at yesterday. We're at home. We've had 2 weeks off. We've got a real good chance to sort of like put that City game. I feel like a right dickhead. I spent last week writing about how that City game could be kind of explained away by the fact that we've gone there so many times and shat the bed, even under Klopp, and been beaten heavily, and there are extenuating circumstances and this, that, or the other. Right? I sort of made a case to not be so down about it. And there were positives that we could take from Villa and Real Madrid that we could hopefully pay forward into this game and get back on track again. Fuck me, how wrong was I, man? Like, because it was...
Well, City
The
aren't
City
good,
weren't
are
that good.
They lost yesterday.
Well, Newcastle
They lost to
showed that,
Eddie
didn't
Howe,
they?
who's never beaten them in 18 games.
You mean our new manager, our next manager?
Our
Eddie
next
Howe?
manager, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
by the way, this is not joking. There's every chance
Yeah.
that's what the road they'd go down. They're all like thick as thieves. Edwards, Hughes, Howe, they're all thick as thieves. Would not be remotely surprised if that's the direction he went.
What do you think? Because there's been, we're all in our different group chats and stuff, and people have sort of speculated about where the hierarchy might be in terms of looking to move on, and whether they've got a shortlist drawn up or what. Like, where do you believe they might be heading, Dave? Like, what's your hunch say?
I would say in the private meetings between Edwards and Hughes and whoever else might be involved in that, they'll probably be making contingency plans for if this goes really bad over the next few weeks. Like if we have more games like yesterday, if it carries on. I'm saying like yesterday, but it's 7 and 8, 7 defeats and 8 or something like that. If this continues, they can't let it play out. But they're probably thinking things will settle a bit. We'll have a few wins. We're still going to throw in some clunkers as well. And it's not going to be great, but we can get to the end of the season and assess it then. But they've got to have a contingency plan in case that's not how it plays out. But I don't think there'll be any... Like I said before, the fans will probably be thinking, oh, he's got to go before it actually happens. They're not good. It's going to be a last resort for them to do that. But I just think that's where it's heading eventually at some point. Now, as for when that is, who knows? Because it just depends on results. They're not going to let it go indefinitely if we keep losing. But as long as we get back onto some sort of an even keel and we pick up a few results here and there and it's not terrible all the time, they'll just let that ride out, I think. But they will be making like inquiries behind the scenes and looking for like potential replacements, because they're not doing the job if they're not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
How plausible do you think it is that we will find some kind of equilibrium where we can kind of trot along, picking up wins here and there, and losing a few games against better, hungrier, better organised, more motivated teams?
Well, we should do, because the comparison I would make is Man United over the last, 5-6 years or whatever. They've been pretty shit, but they'll still win games because there's an element of quality there. Well, we've got far more quality than that. So we should, and there'll be opponents who'll show up and they'll be a bit like Villa, where they'll play their way rather than play the right way to beat us. So we'll still have games like that, and there's enough quality. I mean, Yeah, I tell you what worried me yesterday is like one of the things that I've been saying for a while is like Mo's killing us. You know, this is a big problem. Mo was fucking good yesterday. I had no problem with Mo's performance yesterday. I thought he looked bright. He looked sharp. He was positive. He was trying to go at like Nico Williams. He got into the box. He made some cutbacks. He was our best player yesterday for me. He was not a problem yesterday, and yet, look how bad it is. So it's like, okay, so I'm pointing the finger at Mo going, you're a big part of this, you've got to be better. Well, he was better and we were still shit. So yeah, it's literally everything. There's not one thing you can hang your hat on and say, well, at least we can build on that. There's nothing to build on. Everything is shit. That's not even an exaggeration. Literally everything about our game is shit. We're shit to watch. We're shit defensively. We're shit going forward. There's no fucking fight. We're getting out-fought, outran, out-tackled, all of that every game. What are you hanging your hat on here?
You know, the shit going forward and shit to the back is like, obviously, it's a deadly combination. If you're conceding lots of goals but scoring lots of goals, okay, it's a shootout. There's something to hang your hat on. If you're tight defensively and you're only like winning 1-0 or you're drawing a lot. We haven't drawn a game all season.
No. If we goal difference -2, by the way.
Yeah, well,
what's that
again,
you always say about goal difference, Dave?
Yeah.
That's the true barometer. It's not points, it's goal difference. You can fluke your way up the table with points, with undeserved wins and stuff, and winning close games. Goal difference always tells you what a team is, and that because we've been laughing at Man United for like the last few years because their goal difference has always been hovering around even. That's who we are now.
I want to come back to the point that you made. Sorry, Jules, just on the Man United front. Like, I actually thought about them yesterday because how many times, like down the years, where they have been shit, but they've been getting beat like 2-0 at home by someone in like the lower mid-table area, right?
Nottingham Forest.
And like they'll win a game 3-2 in dramatic circumstances. They'll come back like right at the end because. A, there's quality. B, there's still somewhat of an aura about like Old Trafford when it gets going, and when they get that 1, they get 2, and they get 3. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, we've seen it a few times. As many humiliations as they've had down the years, there have been those games where they've thought like that's the corner turned, right? Yeah. Like they've had this big comeback win against the shit team after falling behind meekly and listlessly. So I was watching that game yesterday, and I thought of exactly that. I just thought to myself, like, oh, we still have enough quality here. We still have Anfield. If we can get 1, then we might still find a way back into this game. But it didn't ever look likely, did it?
Not from the second goal. From when that went in, we offered nothing.
You know, we used up all that credit at the start of the season.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So, and what was the point you were going to make, Jules? I'm sorry.
Oh, I can't remember. That was 30 seconds ago. I can't remember.
Fair enough.
I wish I could.
I can totally relate.
Yeah, no, it was a but. So it was only an add-on to a point someone had made. So it couldn't have been that important. But I mean, Manchester United have lost to Nottingham Forest at Old Trafford recently as well. So you are right in your comparison. The belief's gone out to the players, hasn't it? That's the problem right now. They were winning those games late on, but this run has absolutely knocked the stuffing out of them. And herein lies one of the problems. I'm not sure Slot's able to G them up and get them going, and as a man, problem. As a motivator. I've been making like fun of it, like when Dave's been saying he's not a man manager. I'm like, it's basically a Dutch thing, right? Like that sounds a bit catch-all. I get it, but it is like how many times I'm named Dutch managers over the years where they've been like they've fallen out with players because of their argumentative nature and things like that. Like Van Gaal is the king of it. Cruyff was like it. I think the only one maybe Rijkaard, but did he fall out with Ronaldinho at some point or something like that? Like they're always like very pragmatic and straight down the line, but sometimes you can be a bit too honest and a bit too straight down the line. Sometimes you need an ego needs to be stroked and inflated a little bit just to get, what's the phrase? You catch more flies with honey. And right now, Slot throwing around salt around the dressing room and going get on with it. It's just, I don't. This is part of the problem. Is like, are they even playing for him anymore? Because like, is he G'ing them up? Is he able to? Is it in his locker? I don't know. He doesn't. He's not a very.
No.
No,
I don't think it's part of his team talks even. Do you know what I mean? I think it's that he says, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. It's never like, come on lads, these people are fucking, they need something. Go out there and show them. I don't think he...
And you know...
Not everything can be solved with a tactical tweak.
And I'm going to just... You know, you think about like what a weirdo Guardiola is. But like sometimes... And he is a weirdo and he is a very odd person. But like he's got a frenetic energy about him sometimes. That like... He might be delivering tactical instructions, but the frenetic nature of like when he's like really wound up or something, that will transmit to the players. Like it will G them up in a different way, like Klopp does. He might not be doing this so much in like great inspiring words, but just his like his nervous tension, the way he transmits it, will like get the players going a little bit. Slot's very laid back, but that might be quite detrimental.
Yeah,
I you know, I'm not in that dressing room. I haven't got a clue. But like, I always thought it was weird last year. He got a lot of yellow cards on the touchline and a ban, and I know they clamped down on it last year. Like managers less was tolerated, but I was thinking I never saw him really kicking off on people on the sidelines. You know, Klopp pulled his hammy having to go the fucking.
No, Slot did. He did go for the officials, but in fairness, when he did, it was usually because it was like a genuinely fucking outrageous decision that he was pissed off about. But he does chirp at the fourth official a lot. But he's just not as animated in the way he does it. Yeah. He's not fucking sprinting. And Klopp just had one of those faces, and he said it himself. You know, like the photos of him when he's like in like the fourth official's face. It's like it's just his teeth and his. So it always looked worse than it was. Whereas Slot does chirp a lot at the fourth officials and the linesmen. You know, when I'm obviously I sit not that far from where he is on the touchline, and he's always having like little words with the linesman and the fourth official and that throughout the game. Even when over little things, but when it's a bad decision, he will go for them, and I'm okay with that. But I know what you mean.
I'm sure you can hear it word for word at the moment, right?
Yeah. I know that like the comparison you're making with Guardiola and Klopp and all that and other managers, he doesn't do any of that demonstrative stuff on the touchline. He just stands there. And they always say teams are a reflection of the manager, and that's what we're seeing. You know, and I don't want to be doing like the whole, Klopp did this, Klopp did that. But you know what I was thinking yesterday when I was watching that? I'm watching Gakpo shitting out the tackles, and he's not the only one, so I'm not just singling him out. But
Gravenberg.
Yeah, but Gakpo was the most obvious one, because the one that he shit out of near the halfway line had everyone fuming. But I seen that, and like all thoughts started like racing through my mind at that point. And one of them was, do you remember like Milner had fucking crunched someone, and Klopp would be fucking whipping, he'd be celebrating it like a goal. And he'd make sure the crowd were doing it as well. He'd be whipping everyone up, and we'd be fucking so fired up. And then all of a sudden the tempo's raised, and we're flying into tackles, and we're pressing, and we just smother teams like that. That could never happen now. It couldn't. And it's not because, you know, this is not a case of me saying, you're not like Klopp, but it's not just that. It's like, it's not a point of emphasis. You can clearly see. Like, I'm watching Forest, and I know it's different because Forest are at the bottom and they're scrapping and all that. But every Sean Dyche team that you ever see, you just always see them, like, throwing bodies in front of the ball and blocking shots. To the point where I said to John yesterday, I reckon they spend, like, 3 days a week training just doing that. Someone, like, blasting shot, and like, they're taking it in turns to just run it in front and block it with the face or whatever. That's how he wants his team to play.
You get extra points if you get it in the bollocks.
Yeah, but that is, like, you know, but stuff like that does matter. You know, and that decided the game yesterday. If you watch the highlights back of that game, and you will see 3, 4, 5 situations where we've got the ball 8, 9 yards out middle, and we're about to put a shot in, and it's blocked by someone, or there's a tackle that puts us off. and then look at their goals and how they came about, and there's nobody doing that. That was the difference between the teams yesterday. For all whatever people want to talk about, tactics this, tactics that, it wasn't. It was pure, like in America, they just call it want-to. There was a lack of want-to on our side, and they had it, and we didn't. And it was as simple as that yesterday. So that can't be fixed with a tactical tweak here and there. It's way more than that. And, you know, it goes back to you saying about like players not playing for him. I don't necessarily think it's that exactly. I think this is how like they're playing the way they think they're supposed to be playing. There's no point of emphasis about flying into tackles and making blocks, and you know it's not what he's wanting. He's wanting this slow passing, like patient, and it's soul destroying.
Testing my patience.
Yeah, it's absolutely soul destroying to watch, because we're shit with the ball and we're even worse without it.
But we're also missing like standard setters on the field as well. Like John Brennan made this point to me last night because he stayed in ours back in Shrewsbury, and he said we wouldn't have this with Jordan Henderson. We wouldn't have had this with James Milner. Like how we miss like a James Milner, like setting those standards around the place and keeping people honest. Because Virgil can talk about it all he likes, but what I saw from our captain yesterday was a lot of head shaking, a lot of hand wringing, a lot of like dissatisfaction, but no real G'ing people up and encouraging people and trying to get them going. Just a lot of fucking complaining is what I saw from him. So although I don't disagree with his words, like his actions betray them. I think, like, you know, like he's just pissed off with everybody all the time. But it's not necessarily a style of leadership that
he's not showing it in the right way. You can be pissed off with them, but let them know you're pissed off by fucking bollocking them, not by just like shaking your head and giving them the stink eye.
I wonder if it's just he feels like a man apart now, like because there's not many players left from the Halcyon, Milner, Henderson days, and like I wonder if, you know, he's older than like the squad age is a lot younger, and I wonder if like he's in tune with like some of these players, and I wonder if he has tried to say something and he's now shaking his head because he's like, because they've had that players only meeting, didn't they? They had that players only meeting and it's done nothing. So he's obviously gathered them all together and gone, look lads, this is not what we expect. And like I wonder if he just feels like I'm outnumbered here now.
Do you know what it could be as well?
I've got me, Robbo, and Alisson, and that's it.
Well, that's part of the point I'm about to make. We're all sitting here going, hang on a minute, we used to do this, and it used to be like that, and I look at this. They were part of that. They were in that fucking team. So, like, here's another thing I was thinking when Gakpo shit out of that tackle, and I know I'm probably making too much of that one particular moment. But this comes in a week when I've just watched Sadio Mane doing like that podcast with Rio Ferdinand, and one of the things that he said, he'd said like that he was in talks with Man United when we came in for him, and Ferdinand didn't know that, and he was like, "What, you could have signed for United?" And he said, "Yeah, I was talking to Van Gaal, and there was a good chance that I was going to go there." And then he said, Klopp rang me up and said, "I'm building a team that everybody is gonna hate playing against, and I want you to play every game." And he was like, "That's all I needed." He said, "I didn't even ask about money. I just said to my agent, you sort that out. That's where I'm going." And so we've gone from like a team who everybody was gonna hate playing against to this, and I think like you've that Sadio Mane embodied that team. And I think Cody Gakpo embodies this team. And again, I'm not singling him out as being the problem, but this team is Cody Gakpo.
Yeah.
The identity of this team is Cody Gakpo, whereas you want Sadio. We've gone from Sadio Mane to Gakpo, and you had Diaz as a bridge in between, and Diaz did a passable impression of Sadio. You're never going to get like Sadio Mane, but Diaz did a pretty good job at doing the things that Sadio gave us. He was a fighter. You know, he'd take the game to the other team. He'd run at them. He'd chase everything. He was a scrapper. And now we've got Cody Gakpo, like, who's just a turn the other cheek guy.
Yeah, it's a turn the other cheek, and it's also the opposite to Sadio in terms of his attacking play as well, because I think Cody Gakpo is a good player, and I don't think, as you say, the root of the problem, but every time he receives the ball, that attack is dead on arrival. Unless he's the one finishing the chance, It's just dead on arrival. Everybody gets back into position. Everybody organises themselves. He fucking ignored Kirkes's overlap around about 7 or 8 times yesterday. I'm not sure he played him in once. And just does that thing, just, cuts in, floats in the cross. It's just dead on arrival. The only thing he's really, really excels at is getting on the end of stuff and
back post
finding those tap-ins.
He's great at that. Yeah.
It's just so, he's indicative of how slow and sludgy everything is.
And yet, if you probably look at his numbers, I bet you he's comparable with Sadio.
Yeah.
But that just shows you that there's so much more to it than that. And we've lost a lot of fight and scrappers. Players who've gone. I mean, obviously you can't do anything about Jota, but Jota had that edge to him. He was a scrapper, often to his own detriment, where he'd get himself injured because he was putting himself in there. Darwin was passionate player who left it all out there. Diaz, Harvey wasn't a physical player, but Harvey was someone who's urgency, passion, it meant something to him. You've lost a load of players like that who've got character and a passion for it, and you've just brought in a load of fucking drones. It's just
turns. Who would you say is? I've got an idea, an answer in my head. Who would you say is the most passionate player, up for it player in the squad at the moment?
Out of everyone, Chiesa by a fucking million miles. Unless you want to, Robbo's still got it, but. It's Chiesa.
So no, I mean who actually plays, because Chiesa.
Plays.
I mean, yeah, because I would say Chiesa too, but he doesn't. You can't. If you
can't
just
knock Dom. I can't really.
That's what
him.
I was gonna say. Dom. Yeah, Dom has got a little bit of that passion and enthusiasm.
He's not throwing himself into tackles, but that's not his game. But if he was a pepper, a chili pepper, he'd be medium on the scale. You a little bit of spice, not too much spice, but it complements the meat nicely. And you go, it's very tasty. I mean, I know this will be lost on, both of you now, because Chris is vegetarian, Dave doesn't eat fuck all. But the point stands, he's a medium heat. And Sadio was your habanero, your proper heat.
Chili can go in non-meat foods as well, Jules, don't you, right? Chilies can go in vegetarian foods.
I mean, I'm gonna do a Ron Burgundy and go, I don't believe you.
I make a fucking great apple and bean chili in the slow cooker. Apple. Trust me, listeners.
Need to taste that.
I'll send you the recipe. It's delicious.
No, I thought you were going to say you're going to send me some. I'm not fucking cooking it myself. If you're an expert, I don't want to taste yours. I don't want to fucking make it myself.
All right, fair enough.
Although we'll wait till you come back home. I don't want it expressed from the US.
Don't be fucking posting
the Trump tariffs food through the UK. That'll be huge. 60 quid to pick it up.
Well, if either of you had come and visit me, I'd make some for you. But
well, I'm not going to eat it, am I?
Oh, that's true.
I thought you were going to say, I'm not visiting you, am I? If we could use Chiesa as a lab experiment and sort of bottle his take his enthusiasm out and inject it into the other players, we might get somewhere. But realistically, I think Dom is probably the best, but he's a medium. So in that team you talk about, Dave, he'd be a good little complement to the others. He'd get involved in stuff. Yeah. But he's he's the best we've got, and that's a problem. And that's no knock on Dom, because he's been the only bright spot this season, I would say. But that's a problem. You're right, that's a problem. That is a problem. Verge has always been a fit, laid back guy. Alisson is a peacemaker, than troublemaker, and he always has been. Robbo doesn't play anymore, unfortunately, because he had the fire in him. And then you're right, McAllister doesn't really have it. Gravenberg doesn't have it. Jones,
not his game.
No. Mo gets suplex most games and doesn't get anything, and sort of just throws his arm up, and that's the end of him. He doesn't get involved. And then
but he never did.
He never did. No.
It's
not his game.
Not pointing the finger at him at all for any of that. That's.
So there's no kicking and screaming when we're going down in flames here. There's no one to just kick off Darwin style and go down in flames. So you're probably right. It's not fair on Gakpo, but we are like, that is indicative of who we are right now.
Yeah, there's just no personality, no passion. It's just ugh.
Missing all of Paul's 5Ps.
Yeah.
It is indicative. I think I would have liked to have seen somebody just, like, you know what Roy Keane always says, like when you're getting beat, you just want to see somebody just go out there and be angry enough about it, just kick someone,
feel better. Yeah,
yeah, just that.
Yeah,
you know, show me that. Don't talk about in the game about how everybody after the game how everybody should be angry. Show me you're fucking angry. Well, it's happening. Like, get fucking stuck in. And I think, you know, that point I made earlier about Man United, like getting back into games that they shouldn't have done when they were shit and finding a way to win them. They did it last year in that, was it Lyon they played in the Europa League semi-final when they like edged their way through. I think it was Lyon.
I think it was, yeah.
Lyon.
Yeah, and they just find that like really kind of like old school United
Muscle
miracle
memory.
in the last minute. Yeah, well, I think the difference for us as well is that they're still they were still trying to get the ball moving forward, to have those, like, you know, when that Old Trafford crowd got going, when they're like, you know, you've got those images in your head of them streaking forward, and, you know, on that big wide Old Trafford pitch and, you know, scoring these late winners and stuff. And our style of play at the moment doesn't give us as fans the opportunity to really like lean into it and do our job and get them G'd up and like really allow us to help them. Like Jerry Maguire, right? Help me, help you.
Yeah.
And they're not.
But like I said before, it's nullifying Anfield.
Yeah.
Like, that's our superpower, and the style of football is just kryptonite.
Is there anything you guys can point to, like, and either of you feel free to come in on this, like anything that you can point to say, like, okay, here's why it could get better. Here's how we could come out of this. Here are some mitigating circumstances for it to mean this is not going to last forever, and we will turn things around.
So by better, I don't mean great, but you can get better by bringing in Gahey and Semenyo in January. That's a start, because you're definitely upgrading at the back based on how Konate's been all season. So that gives you a bit more solidity and you're a bit more settled there. Semenyo gives you a lot of the things that we're complaining that we don't have, you know, just like the drive and the directness, the pace. He's 2-footed, so he can play either side. He can cut in, he can go on the outside, he can score with both feet, he can score headers. So that does improve things. And I'm torn about it, because in one respect, and this is not me head saying this is just like me gut, is I feel like, no, you shouldn't be able to buy your way out of this. You fucking fix it with the players that you've bought. The caveat to that is, I do think these were two players that were part of the plan in the summer. It's not a case of like, oh shit, the plan's fucked, we now need to go and do something else. I do think, well, they obviously wanted to sign Gahey anyway, but I do think Semenyo was always on the cards. It was just they couldn't do it in the summer because Bournemouth wouldn't sell. And he's got the new contract with the clause where he can go in January for 65. So if we're aware of that, it explains why they never went for a Diaz replacement, because they were prepared to wait until January to get Semenyo. So
unless that's done now, though, like, what are the chances that he's going to want to come and join this shit show when everyone else is sniffing around him?
You'd be surprised. I mean, how many
People
good
still sign
players
for
went to
United
when they were shit? So, you know, footballers don't necessarily think the same way we do. So, if those deals are all in place and agreed, then that does help. But I think that doesn't solve a lot of the things that we're seeing. You know, it's not solving like the lack of tackling, the lack of passion, just all of that stuff. That new signers are not going to fix that. They'll just make marginal improvements on like the playing side of things. But the problems just go way beyond that. And again, and the biggest thing is, it's just they're getting out fought all the time. And going back to what I said before, like I do think that Robbo in particular, Robbo probably fucking can't stand some of these new players. I think he's resentful. He's looking at like at what these are and what he's been used to playing with. Maybe Virgil as well, although Virgil's, you know, he's got like his Dutch boys in there with him, so maybe
I
they're
do
his boys.
think
Maybe
he's a man apart.
I don't know.
I do think that's a thing. I think the old guard, Robbo's not playing that much, but like, and I'm not sure if Alisson feels that way, but I definitely think that Verge is like looking around and going, these aren't my people, and this is a problem.
Mm.
But like, you're asking what can be solved. It needs complete overhaul of tactics and mentality from the manager. Is that going to happen, or is it more likely a manager with new tactics and mentality comes in?
Well, two things there. One, would he be prepared to do that?
Well, like Brendan firing
Firing his
Pasco.
boy Pasco. That was such a shithouse move. But well, I mean, we could even go down that road with like, what does Van Bronckhorst do? Are we missing height yet? But it's at this point, like, who cares? It's just it's so many other bigger problems. I'm not wasting any time even dwelling on that stuff. But yeah, so one, would he be prepared to do that? I would say probably not. And two, would they listen to him anyway now? And that's the thing. In terms of like people saying, oh, they're not playing for him, he's lost players. I don't necessarily think it is that. I think some players probably think he's a tit, don't like him. The ones who are not treated particularly well. So Joe Gomez, Endo, people like that. But I think the ones who are his favourites who play all the time, I don't think it's a problem as such there. I just don't think they believe in what they're being told to do. You watch them playing and like, they're probably like us. They're probably thinking, this isn't going to work. I don't enjoy this, but this is what they're told to do. It's like safety first. Don't risk losing the ball. Safe sideways passing rather than trying to force things. Don't be shooting from distance because you're going to give the ball away. Just all of that, like, they probably don't enjoy it. Well, they definitely don't enjoy it because you're watching them play. There's no enjoyment of these players at the moment. They're not enjoying what they're doing. That doesn't excuse like the lack of effort that I'm seeing like at times, but it's not fun for them. They're involved in what we're seeing. We're seeing it and going, this is shit. They're playing in it and they know it's shit. So I do think like this, and again, it's the whole like, you think about what happened. It looks like the Rodgers team, like the way it's just going on and it's just, everything's shit. And we thought that squad was dog shit, didn't we? We thought these so many bad players, this is useless. But then the rest of that season after Klopp came in, he got to 2 cup finals. And although he was like dealing with a lack of talent, the team was enjoyable. It was fun to watch. We saw that they were scrapping. Because that's what you've got to start with. You start with that. You just get them doing the basics. Fight for everything. Win your second balls. Throw yourself in front of shots. Outrun the other team. And then your quality will see you through. And we have got that quality now. We didn't have it then, but we've got it now.
I always think back to that first half, well, that full game against Tottenham.
Yeah.
Klopp's first away game. And then within like a month or two, we'd won away at Chelsea and we'd won away at Manchester City as well. Yeah. So, like, I get the point. I get where you're coming from there. If only we could wind the clock back 10 years and just get him again.
If we go back to that time period as well, there's something else that like I think's relevant. All of this, Wirtz is too lightweight and he's not going to settle. Well, Coutinho managed it.
Yeah.
So what's the difference there?
That.
Right. And Adam Lallana was Klopp's most effective player in that first season or so as well.
He bought into it, didn't he? Fully bought into it straight away. That you mentioned that Man City game. I was talking to Paul yesterday in the pub about like the difference that Klopp made instantly, like with a squad that wasn't balanced, but wasn't in theory wasn't half as good as this one we've got now. And you knew that, and that the game where you just like forget about that Spurs game, which was like great because you thought, oh, look at this. The game that made me go, oh no, we're gonna be good was that away game at City. I think was it 4-1 we won.
Yeah.
And Coutinho, I think, scored 2. I think, and like Bobby, and this is what got me right.
First goal, wasn't it, Bobby's?
Yep.
Yeah, I think this is what, and this is the bit that got me. He looked shit under Rodgers. Yeah. Why have we bought him?
Slow, overweight, shit.
See if you can like match up some of these things we're saying now to what's happening currently. Didn't look like who's bought. Where are you playing? Why have we bought you? You don't look suited to this league. This is wrong.
Yeah.
This is a waste of money. What's going on? I thought you were meant to be good. Klopp comes in, and then suddenly we're playing away. And I know it wasn't Guardiola's City at that point; it was Pellegrini's City, but they were still Manchester City. They were still, league winners. They were still a very high-powered team, And we went there and just absolutely dismantled them. And Bobby and Coutinho looked like absolute fucking magic. And there was whichever goal it was, I can't remember which one it was, but I can remember it. It was the cut. I think Coutinho cut it back from the touchline and Bobby tapped it in. And that's the bit I can remember it clearly, watching it and thinking, oh no, we're gonna be good. We're gonna be really good. Look at this. This is amazing. This is proper stuff. And like the ability to, like, I take a player like Bobby who came in with a reputation but looked absolute shite under Rodgers and turn it around. And I just think, yeah, Arne, mate, you've not got it, have you? You've not got it. I'm really sorry, but yeah. You're Brendan Rodgers now. You've got these players which, by all intents and purposes, should be good. But you're making them look like Brendan Rodgers made Bobby look, and that's a huge problem. Huge problem.
Man, that's bummed me out big time. I'm not disagreeing with you, but it's
I
such
don't think
a fucking bummer.
I don't think you can, not because I'm brilliant and I'm right, because it brings a clarity to it. You're like, because we all experienced, I'm sure most of us thought like that when we played like that, and Firmino suddenly looked like a world beater and became a world beater for us. It was amazing for us. He's a club legend now. What a guy. Mm-hmm. But he didn't look like that under Rodgers. He looked like a waste of money. And like, Rodgers didn't want him. He wanted Benteke. We got Benteke. Benteke's consigned to the shit heap of Anfield history, like through no real fault of his own. Just because Brendan bought him and didn't know what to do with him. Still didn't know what to do with him, really. Didn't know how to fit him into the team. It matters when you buy these. Again, it matters when you buy these players that a clear plan is needed. Dave's just said, Klopp's ringing up Mane and going, I need you in my team. I'm building a team. Are we building a team, or are we just signing players that look good on paper and should fit together? But like, do they fit together? Can someone make them fit? And is Arne Slot that man? Because I don't think he is.
No.
Like, and how do I judge that? Because I've had to sit and watch these fucking games.
Yeah.
I just want something. Show me something. Like, as you say, Chris, help me help you. Like, show me something on. Show me something that you've
December,
got. Yeah.
and
Tweak
it's got
something.
worse rather than better. You know, there's not,
Yeah.
and there is mitigating circumstances. Like, Isak's hardly been available, but again, this is no fucking surprise, is it? You know, some of us said this is exactly how it'll go. He's missed pre-season. He's already got a history of injuries. What the fuck are you expecting? But you've also got no right backs now, because Jules, you may as well use the line on Bradley. I don't want to steal your thunder.
Oh, why? He breaks down more than the Middle East peace talks. Yeah. So, originally, I was going to say the Irish peace talks, but they sorted all that out, so I felt it was unfair. It was thematic, but unfair. But yeah, like, you know,
Frimpong's hardly been available as well. So
he's done as a Liverpool. His career's snake bit at Liverpool, I think. It's just that you can't even indulge in any. If you were so inclined, you can't even indulge in any Schadenfreude with Trent, because he's left and it's gone absolutely tits up in his old department. There's nothing we can say to go, oh, you're not playing for Real Madrid. He can go, oh, you fucking shit.
At least I'm not playing for you.
Yeah.
I'd rather be on their bench than your fucking team.
Yeah.
Even that right back situation is indicative of a big problem, because, like, why not just put Joe Gomez there? Just put Joe Gomez there and don't move by far your most effective player out of position again to go and play right back, when you have two other pretty decent options who could play there. Like, Curtis could do it, Joe Gomez could do it, Endo
Did you
could
hear
probably
his
do
reason
it.
for that?
Enlighten me.
He said that he didn't want to play Gomez at right back because we need him a centre back cover and we can't risk him at right back.
That's bollocks, isn't it?
Succinct. Yeah.
But again, though, you've also, I know he's hardly played, and you can't really judge it just on one cup game, but we're probably going to need Calvin Ramsey. We've got 7 games in 21 days. We're probably going to need him at some point. Slot didn't even fucking name check him in the press conference. It's like, if you're not part of that group, you're an afterthought. He's not interested. When he was talking about his right back options and he went through players, he didn't even mention him. And after he played that game in the cup and he was man of the match, he played really well. A few days later, he got asked about him, and one of the journalists said something like, Calvin Ramsey had a very good game the other night, and he went, I'd say decent. No, he went, I'd say decent. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you fucking downplaying that? Boost the kid's confidence up. Don't be like shitting all over it. And then they pulled him out of the under-21 game on the day we were playing Villa. Pulled him out of that game and had him just sit in the stands watching the first team. It's like, well, if you're not putting him on the bench, just fucking let him play for the under-21s. What's the point in any of this? And then he's on the bench yesterday, but he doesn't get on. How many right-backs did we use yesterday? It was a fucking revolving door during the game. Yeah. So I'm not saying he's the answer, but in the past, he's a player who would have been put in the team and he would have done a job for us until the main players come back. But,
like a Stephen Wright.
Yeah, he's an afterthought.
Reece Williams?
Yeah. Nat Phillips, Reece Williams.
It wasn't lost
still here. That's so
it
wild.
It wasn't lost on me yesterday that there was an attacking right back on the pitch, and I'm like, maybe we should have just kept him rather than like signing a Frimpong who can't play, like, because like,
yeah, he was playing left back, but yeah, I take your point. Yeah. He was a right back,
but he could play right back for us. It's like, you know, you're signing Frimpong who's never fit.
In fairness, though, I don't think he had a history of that before he came here. So that's hard to legislate for that. I don't think we've bought an injury-prone player there. He's just come here and got two
Paul's
injuries.
not here to speak for himself, but like Paul's like not happy at all about the injury record that we've got going on here. When like one of the things that was trumpeted about Slot was his. I mean, it is true. His style of football should keep people fit because no cut runs.
Yeah, you're not running or tackling, and you're definitely not throwing yourself in front of shots.
Yeah. It's a light walk. It's walking football. If Dan was here, he'd be making the Father Ted gag, but like it's walking football here, lads.
Those are fake hands.
Are we getting injuries? Muscle injuries as well? Ah, man. Shit show at the fuck factory.
Did you see that yesterday? And the ball was, it was sort of in our right back position. And Alisson started running over to get there. I was like, just leave it. Just like, don't fucking run. I'm not taking any more chances with your hamstrings on a cold day like this.
If I was Alisson, I wouldn't blame Alisson if he wants to leave now. It's never gonna be as good.
Yeah.
It's never gonna be as good as it was. You go off, mate, and do what you want to do. You've earned it. Same with Mo. Just you go, lads. If you want to go now, go. This isn't that. You don't want to be like playing in this bum ass team. It's fucking sad. We haven't. Sorry, Chris. We haven't even really talked about the game, like the nitty gritty of the game, but I'm not even sure. Does it even matter if we dissect the game? Because like, does it matter at this point? Like, you can point. There's so many flaws, so many things, and maybe we need to give Dave the Canate floor at some point because.
Well, one thing I did want to ask you about the game, and then we'll get on to Canate. I was thinking whether this result would have been any different had Maka been able to put that one away in the first couple of minutes. The one that was a good block off the line. I think Elliot Anderson got back there and headed it off the line.
He's
Thought
fucking
he was ace
boss,
yesterday
by
as
the
well.
way.
Yeah, he's brilliant, isn't he? It's like he's fucking out. It was about four of him on the pitch.
He's everything that we're not.
Yeah.
You know what? I put it in a roundup a couple of weeks ago about him. This amazed me. He's had more touches of the ball than anybody else in the Premier League. Now, usually that stat is usually like Virgil or like Gabriel, you know, centre-backs at like the top teams, Diaz at Man City. They're usually like top of that list. They touch the ball more than anybody else. He's a midfield player in a counter-attacking team that's near the bottom of the league. How the fuck is he touching the ball more than anyone else? This is what I thought going into the game yesterday, and I was talking to John about it. And after about half an hour, I was like, I can see why, because wherever the ball is, he's fucking there. So like... Yeah. Even if he's just getting a touch on it, he might not be on the ball playing passes, but he's there, he's touching the ball, he's getting a tackle in, like interception or whatever. So that's why his touches are so high, is because he just follows the ball around the pitch. He's just everywhere, and that's what I mean. It's like someone like that, we've got nobody who plays that way.
No. My point was going to be, do you think if we go 1-0 up early, that we go on to win that game? Because in my mind it's a no, because we're still going to give up the odd set piece and they find their way back into it, and then all of a sudden, what little confidence the players glean from taking the lead, whatever air is in the crowd from taking the lead, again gets like sucked out, and the game probably goes the way it's going to go anyway. What do you reckon?
Well, it's the same point can be made. John brought this up yesterday about, like, John said, even if the goal at Man City had been allowed, we'd probably have still lost the game. And I'm like, well, maybe not, but we'll never know. But goals do change games. So maybe if we did go 1-0 up while we were playing quite well, maybe we go on and win the game. Maybe it's like you said, we give up a set piece and then we get pegged back and the confidence goes. We don't know. The only thing we do know is that we didn't get the first goal, and we hardly ever get the first goal. So that in itself is a problem again. It's like the first set piece they got to goal.
That was a fucking disgrace the way we gave away that set piece as well, wasn't it?
It was our corner, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We just let the ball bounce, and all of a sudden they were counter-attacking. Yeah, it was. It was terrible.
And you that touch from your boy Ibu, to put that out from a corner from there, where you could just you could have dealt with that in like 3 other different ways than just toe that out for a corner off your weak foot.
Yeah. No,
shit.
It was. Did you see last week Jimmy Traore like pulling Carragher up on Twitter about his Canate? I don't agree. He was all polite about it, like never wasn't having a go at Carragher, but he's like, I don't agree with your criticism of Canate. I'm like, fucking hell, when you've got Jimmy Traore like defending, you're defending. It's like, that's not where you want to be. If I'm Canate, I'm like, no, you're not the person I want sticking up for me, mate. I know Paul's going to be fuming because he loves Traore, but yeah, he's defending the indefensible. Like, Canate's put in so many stinkers this season, and then anytime he has a good game, he's there chirping away at his critics, or he wins a tackle and he's whipping the fucking crowd up, and all fucking knobheads. Boo! I fucking hate that. Absolutely hate it. It's like, it really fucking bothers me. When we were queuing up to get in, this is something else we need to get to, but the whole farce about getting into the fucking ground. But me and John didn't get in till like 5 past. And while we were in the queue, John said, at least while we're out here, we're not having to listen to the cop going, "Boo," when he makes his first tackle. And I was like, I don't know, like, he probably won't make his first tackle till about fucking, 50 odd minutes. As it turned out, I don't think he made any. But yeah, hate that Ibu shit. It fucking winds me up. Almost
like
as much as I'm whipping the crowd up.
It's like we morph into an American golf crowd for those, like, few seconds.
Yeah.
Horrific. But, yeah. Do you want to talk about getting into the ground, then?
Yeah, what an absolute joke this is now. And it's going to be like this all the time, isn't it? It's not just a one-off thing.
So, like, Chris will be the same, and I knew Dave. I've been to a lot of sporting events elsewhere. I've been to a lot of football matches elsewhere. I go to Wales games regularly at Cardiff Stadium. There's always security checks. There have been for years, right? They're quite stringent. They all unilaterally do not scan and check you at the actual turnstile. Yeah. There is a buffer zone of about 10 feet at Cardiff City Stadium. I'll use that as an example because it's a smaller football stadium. And there are like those metal barriers, the movable barriers. They have them around those turnstiles. So you go into those, they check you in those, and then you're free to walk into the turnstiles themselves. Like Barry Warm on the forum, he's in the Upper Anfield Road. He's moved his season ticket there, and he's been on about the shit show that it takes to get into the Upper Anfield Road. And it is a shit show. There's not enough turnstiles for the size of it. It's ridiculous. I don't know. I know, like, the contractor went bust halfway through. Did they, like, take some of the plans with them or something? Like, there's this weird-ass fan zone.
Take the turnstiles and sell them for scrap.
Well, like, it looks like they've got this weird-ass fan zone that's in the middle of the Anfield Road. And, like, it's huge. It's big, massive, gated thing. It looks like the entrance to Jabba's palace. And, like, it's closed by kickoff, right? So how useful is it, like, that it's closed by kickoff? They've got, like, that little plaza bit behind it with, like, the bricks with the names and that. But it's not that wide. It's not that deep. And these turnstiles are in the corner, the Kenny corner of the stand. And that's it. You've got a queue along the front of the stand. But there's no there's no, like, it's not a queue, it's a malaise of people, a melange of people, sorry, and you just get in it and you sort of, shuffle to the front like you're in a Soviet era bread queue. And then when you get there, they're scanning people and checking everything. But like the absurdity is, like I was scanned yesterday, and I've got my gloves in my pocket, just regular gloves, and it beeps, and she goes, "What's in your pocket?" And I went, "Gloves," and she went, "All right, then in you go." I'm like, "What the fucking point of the wand? Like you're not gonna even, like it is only gloves, but at the same time." It could have been anything. It could have been a smoke bomb. It could have been a flare. It could have been the can of Coke that I usually take in because the twats don't sell regular Coke in there because they're trying to dodge the sugar tax. But it's another thing that's just...
Fucking sorted out, Arne.
Oh, absolutely. Right? I'm going right off the reservation, but I will have my say on this. Fucking people being... Pubs and stuff being minge bags with like regular like... Pepsi or Coke now, like, oh, there's only Pepsi Max or Coke Zero. I'll pay the extra 20p for the fucking regular Coke. I just want Coke. I just want the sugar, you dickheads. Don't fucking make me have no choice. I remember I went to see something at Manchester Arena last year. And I paid £7, I think it was, for a Pepsi Max cherry. I'm like, you fucking what? Fucking Pep. It cost me £6 to buy 6 2-litre bottles, and you're £7. So I'd take the can of Coke in, but I could have taken the can of Coke in because they didn't bother checking me anyway. So why are we having to wait for a queue? Either check us properly at a proper check-in station or fuck it off. I know what's happened, though. I don't know what's happened, but I'm guessing either the council with the safety license. No, it'll be the council for the safety license, or the police have gone, you're not checking people going to that ground. It's part of your license. You need to do it. And they've been...
Nice.
It is bullshit, that's right. And they've been told you need to sort it out, and that's why it's been brought in.
But that's what I mean. It's box ticking because they're not actually doing the searches properly. But they're going to be saying,
also haven't communicated it to the fans well enough. Like, you need to get here early now because they're going to be checks.
But fuck that anyway. You know what? They sent an email out last week, and it said the turnstiles open 2 hours before kickoff. So you are going to be getting searched. So get there early. Well, hang on a minute. Like, Chris, you're over from America. We haven't seen you for fucking ages. And we're supposed to cut into our social time to go and fucking sit in the ground an hour early because they're being dickheads, not doing the searches properly. It's like what Jules said. So we Ralph, who sits in the main stand with us, he rang at 2:30 and he went, you need to get up here now, the queue's like pretty bad. So me and John were in the queue at past. We got in at past. That's not acceptable. That it took us 35 minutes to get in. It's just not fucking acceptable. And we're standing here watching, and it's like you said, Jules. There was a steward on one side of the turnstile because there's 2 turnstiles. Like each turnstile's got two ways in, and on either side there's a steward with those like metal detector things or whatever. And there's nobody else. There's no other stewards. Now all it would have took was like another 2, 3, 4 stewards, whatever, walking down the queue and just scanning everyone, doing a search and saying to the ones on the turnstile, these 10 here are all fine, they can go through, now I'm doing the next 10, and it would have just been normal. But it wasn't because of the way they did it.
Or they could do it like every other fucking event place in the UK does it. Whether you go to Wembley for the football, for the NFL, for wrestling, whether you go to the O2 for a gig, or you go for a live comedy event, whether you go to Hyde Park for the BST stuff, wherever you go, it's a setup of the turnstile is here and about 10 feet before is the check. That's how it's done. And somehow Liverpool Football Club has gone, it's not for us that. It's not for us. Because our fans don't really want to be searched and we don't really want to search them, so we'll half-ass it. But actually what we're going to do is, I can get into Wembley, which is a bigger capacity, but crucially more turnstiles and stewards. I can get into Wembley in short order, but I can't get into Anfield in 30 minutes. That's ridiculous. And again, they need to put barriers into, they need to put like those metal movable barriers onto the Anfield Road end and split the queue properly. So I think there's 4 openings, so maybe 8 turnstiles. So there should be 8 queues or 4 queues. Get into these queues. It'll, first of all, if people are in a more orderly fashion, it will move faster. And then if you put search stations ahead of it, you will get people in quicker. Because you know what you have? You have someone searched. It happened to me yesterday. The lad in front of me, he gets searched. And then he puts his phone to the thing and he doesn't know how to use it. So it's like another 30 seconds where he fumbles and panics on his NFC
Sometimes
to get it working.
it just doesn't work. It's not even that you don't know how to use it. Sometimes it
there you
doesn't
go.
work.
But again, the buffer zone, you're still searching people further back because they're moving into the buffer zone. But there isn't one. It's a billion-pound organisation. It's not every football club that... If you go to an away game in the Premier League as a Liverpool fan, you'll be searched, and you'll be searched, like I'm describing, ahead of the turnstile in the buffer zone.
Well, you'll be queuing up for 5 or 10 minutes to get in.
Yeah, but also, like, again, going back to the Anfield Road end, you've built all these nice raised plant areas, but you've left no place for then these queues to form. It's an absolute shit show. I mean, I gotta be honest, I don't really care that I missed part of the game because we're shit. However, if we were good, I'd have a real problem, a bigger problem with it. But then again, like, shout out to Barry Moore about this.
If we ever scored in the first few minutes, you would be fuming at not getting in.
But again, shout out to Barry Moore for this. Getting to the top of the Anfield Road is bad enough. There's about 8 flights of stairs before you get to the concourse, and then there's 3 more flights of stairs to get to the seat. They haven't put escalators in for it, only for the corporate bit in the front that I blagged into at the Arsenal game. They get escalators. The jabronis, the rest of us, got to walk up all the stairs. It's mental. You thought that was a plan? That's acceptable in 2023 when it was opened.
What they'd love for us to do, really, isn't it, as well, is to get in the ground like an hour before the game. So whatever we spend, that we'd usually spend in the chippies or in the pub, gets spent on their substandard beer and food.
Do you know what? Like, when you say substandard, you're in the Cop, so you're not seeing that there's actually like craft beer in some of the other stands and wider concourses and places to stand and easy food concessions. The Cop is like the Dark Ages now. The main stand concourse and the Upper Annie are quite nice. They've got like a little pub thing in the Upper Anfield called the Golden Rake. So but the problem with Anfield is, unfortunately, because it's an old stadium, it's not a bowl. You can't leave the stand you're in. Yeah. And because, like, in theory, you could go in, like, because we're all in different stands. In theory, you could go in an hour early and have a bevy and have a pint of Hobgoblin or Shipyard or something, because you can walk around and go, right, I'm walking back around to my seat, like you can at, say, Wembley. But you can't leave the seat. So if we go all in an hour early, we're in different stands. It's pointless.
Yeah.
And that, to be fair, is not something really the club can do anything about. That's the nature of the stadium. You know, it's not. I understand it's not really feasible.
No, but it was the dismissive way. Oh well, the turnstile's open 2 hours before. Like, fuck off! I'm not giving up my social time to go in there for fucking 2 hours.
I always said when they were talking about renovating Anfield that they should do something like they did at Fenway Park, where you make part of the surrounding area an open area that's actually now part of the stadium, so you can walk in and out of it. So you've swiped in, but you're actually not in the ground part. You're just in the open area. There's something to be said that, like, I know there's not a lot of space around Anfield, but there is also. Tell you what, fuck off that truck they have people singing shit songs on, and make that area like a fan zone area. That once you swiped in, you can go in there. You know, it's shit though. They need to sort it out. They need a better plan. This isn't a good plan. And then you had the absolute irony of like the announcement going, "This is a Liverpool Football Club announcement. We are now 10 minutes away from kickoff. Make your way to the nearest turnstile." And everyone went, "Oh,
yeah,
the fuck you say?" I know it's on the 5 minute to kickoff. She didn't say that. She's like, it's gone down like a fart in an elevator. We're not saying that bit. We'll just say, you know, don't take any flares into the ground, otherwise you'll be ejected. Like, I've got to get in the ground to get ejected.
I missed 2 of the goals yesterday, which I don't think has ever happened before. And I was in the ground in plenty of time. Like, I missed Forrest's second because I was talking to Brownie.
That's only 40 seconds into the second
and James
half,
and
though,
Paul
yeah.
down the bottom. And then after we gave away that stupid free kick that led to the third, I went for a piss and missed that one as well. So
when you lost 1-0 for you, that's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I came back up after half time and like sarcastically said to the lad next to me, "Okay, what did I miss?" And he goes, "Well, from our point of view, it's a terrible goal to give away, but from their point of view, they'll probably be quite happy with it." And I was like, "What?" I looked at the scoreboard and it was fucking 2. Like, I didn't hear anything from down the bottom, but shit. Put a downer on things.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, just shit.
Anyway.
And just on the, Jill said something about, like, or it might have been you said about substandard beer and food and that. Well, the food is substandard. I've got a chippy problem now because obviously I'm not going to Lucky Star.
Even though you said the chips were spot on yesterday.
They've changed them. No, I didn't say yesterday.
He said he's...
Oh, sorry, the Lucky Star, yes. No, they were yesterday. They were.
Yeah.
But
you know what it is?
Too late.
I think you know what it is. You've because they've gone skin on fries in the ground. You've got to climb down, but you've got to be seen to be climbing down because it's got better, not because you've in the corner.
No, they've gone skin on fries this season, or maybe not since the start of the season, but for like a few games. And I'd got them, and I thought, okay, this isn't ideal, but no, they were all right. What was a lot not Villa game it was. I got some then, and John will tell you they were fucking disgusting. They were like not cooked properly, and if I want fucking skin on me chips, I'd still be going to Lucky Star. Not acceptable. So now I can't get chips in the ground either, and I definitely can't do it because I'm not even getting in for kickoff anymore. Never mind getting in early enough to get some food. But yeah, I need a solution.
You need the
no problem with the Lucky Star chips.
The Lucky Star chips were good yesterday, but it's a point of principle.
I've never had any problem with Lucky Star. I respect everything they do, and Dave's views are not affiliated with my views on Lucky Star chips.
I think you got to go back, Dave. I think you got to go back, give it another try, and just give them another shot. Not every chippy that you have, like even if it's a great chippy, you get let down sometimes.
It wasn't sometimes. It wasn't like the first time it happened. I just said that's it. I'm boycotting them. I did give them chances, but I will say yesterday they were like the most spotless looking chips I've ever seen from there.
Okay.
Maybe if it's like that for the next couple of games, I had one of Jules and I was like, yeah, that's nice, but it's not enough for me to come back.
Did you?
Which is mental because those chips, those actual chips had just been served. Why would you not go and get those actual chips?
Point of principle.
Sucking.
That's known as cutting off your nose to spite your face, Dave.
No, it's not. It's like
it's not having a chip on your shoulder.
What? So we're all gonna if like
or not.
If Isak had had a good game yesterday and scored a couple of goals, would that have made everything sound then?
Well, we might have won. So it would have been better. More.
I know, but we would have had a nice time tonight, right? Talking about the game.
No, we still lost 3-2.
Oh man. Oh dear. I think you got to go back. When's the next home game? Sunderland.
Yeah,
that's an awkward one, isn't it? It's an awkward one to stop for chips.
It's actually not though, but like night games are easier for chips because the time we get there is like it's tea time. Yeah. Whereas the 3 o'clock game, like I'd already had my lunch before I got there, so not really ideal. It's like I'd either have to have like a late lunch or so 3 o'clock games are not ideal. Then obviously the early kickoffs are not ideal because I don't just have my breakfast. But night games are probably better. But no, I want to see what it's like, and if it's nice again, I may give it a go after that. But no, it's too soon.
Okay. Right.
One swallow doesn't make a summer. No,
it doesn't. But it's good, positive sign, steps in the right direction.
Which is more than we can say for the footy.
Exactly. Is there anything else we want to talk about from the game itself? I mean, I'm not even sure I'm that excited about looking ahead to the European game on.
I think we'll be fine in that. It's like playing a different sport, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, I expect us to win that. I'm not even considering any other outcome than a win. No, we'll win it. We'll probably play.
Is it PSV?
Yeah, we'll probably
play. It's not PSG,
right.
is it? It's PSV.
PSV. Why do you think I'm saying we'll win it? I wouldn't be saying we'll win if it was PSG.
Well, we beat Real Madrid.
We beat PSG, but we had Harvey and Darwin then.
Yeah. How long is Wirtz out for? Do we know?
He said not long. He said Bradley and Frimpong.
He's not talking to anyone, so you can't find out.
So they were focusing on the fact that we had 7 games in 22 days, I think it was, and he ruled out Frimpong and Bradley from that. And he said that's not the case with him, but don't know, but it's not too bad.
Wirtz has 100% come back from Germany, having played some lovely football with his countrymen and enjoyed himself, and Nagelsmann going to bat for him. Come back here and thought, no.
I know, Nagelsmann's basically just saying, yeah, Liverpool are shit, what do you expect? It was unusual for a manager to speak like that about the team, but he basically just said, yeah, he's fine, but the team's shit, what are you wanting from him?
They were good last year, but they're shit this year. It's no good. Yeah. Do you know that, again, the irony that Liverpool are fucking terrible attacking and can't score goals, and I'm seeing Wales get a record, their biggest win for 50 years or whatever. It's ridiculous. I never thought I'd see Wales score 7 more recently than Liverpool.
Who's up front? Is it still the big lump?
Do you not know? Fucking Harry Wilson was captain and scored a hat-trick.
Yeah.
What a guy. What a guy. My unrequited love, the what could have been for Liverpool. If you'd have just put him in with the good players, I reckon he'd have been... Well, he is good. He's a good player. Who doesn't like Harry Wilson?
He's a good Premier League player. He's done well.
And I reckon he could have been elevated around him. But yeah, Harry Wilson scored a hat-trick. Brennan Johnson scored. Which is unusual because he's usually shit for Wales. But yeah, I didn't think I'd be seeing Wales.
Semi-final, Jules?
Bosnia and
Has it
Herzegovina.
been drawn yet?
Yeah,
Oh,
Bosnia and
right
Herzegovina.
Is it one leg?
Well, we got to play 2 of them. Got to play Bosnia and Herzegovina. It's one leg because then you have to play the final, and that would be against either, I think it's Northern Ireland or Italy.
Oh, okay.
Is everyone still in this? Did anybody actually get knocked out?
Right.
Sweden finished bottom, never won a fucking game.
Hang on. First of all, I've always got beef with people who don't like international football, especially when they support top Premiership teams, Premier League teams even. Because it's dead easy to look down your nose at what international football is when you're at the top of European football. But for a lot of people don't support the best teams, and it's just good to see good players playing for a team you support. Even if it's a mediocre team, you're fairly proud of what you put together. I'm international football is a different beast to what it was, say, 30 years ago. There's no doubt about that. But it's look at what Scotland did now, last week. Look at what Republic of Ireland did last week. Those are fucking amazing results. Everyone was buzzing off them.
That was sad. I'm made up for them, but I'm saying Sweden finished bottom of the fucking group.
So it was decided that everyone went, it's shit international football. There's too many meaningless friendlies. So UEFA was like, all right, fair enough. We take that on board. We will make something called the Nations League, where we will instead of we'll have teams play against their own equivalent rather than getting England battering. So I mean, Wales just battered someone, but North Macedonia are actually quite good. They'd only conceded 3 goals prior to playing us. Rather than England battering San Marino will play Liechtenstein and they'll all be seeded to the thing. And if you win your group, you go up into the next lot. So D, C, B, and A. And if you win your group, there's got to be a reward in that. You'll go into a playoff system. It'll be for only a couple of qualifying places for the international tournaments, but you'll be in them. So Sweden did well in the Nations League, and that's why it finished last. Fuck off, honestly.
Can we go back down whatever rabbit hole you were down earlier on, and Chris dragged you out? Can we go back down that one instead of this one?
Fucking knobhead. That's why Sweden won their Nations League group, and that's why they've now got a playoff. But that was it was to replace international friendlies, and to be the most part, it's been good because who beat the Czech Republic the other day? Minnow beat the Czech Republic, didn't they? Not this one, the October one.
We don't know because we don't pay attention to international football, Julian.
No, Dave did because he was lamenting the Czech Republic were now shit.
Yeah, they are shit. They've been shit for a while.
Oh.
That heyday's well and truly gone. The Paddy and Vladdy days. My boy Milan.
It goes in cycles though in European football, because other teams rise up as other teams fall, especially in the smaller nations. I was made up for Scotland. Like, they haven't been to
So
a World
was
Cup
I.
since
Made up
1998.
for Ireland as well. That was great
Yeah, I'd
stuff.
never heard of Troy Parrott. I'm like, that's a made-up name. That's a regen name on Football Manager, isn't it?
No, I remember him when he first came
Played
through
for
at
Spurs.
Tottenham, but then I
Yeah.
hadn't heard his name for about 5 years.
He's playing for... Is he playing for AZ Alkmaar or something?
No idea.
I think he's playing for AZ Alkmaar in the Netherlands.
Speaking of the
Good for him.
Netherlands, Champions League Wednesday. Is it Wednesday night or Tuesday night?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay, away at. So, you know that
I thought it was
you would think
Tuesday.
that's
Is
the
this
game that we.
Is it not at home?
Yeah,
It's at home.
I thought it was Tuesday, but I didn't know it was Wednesday.
No, right, it's Wednesday at home.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Wednesday away.
It's my dad's birthday. They're going to fucking ruin his birthday, aren't they?
Oh, what you
Happy
doing anything
birthday,
nice
Ed.
for it?
No, we're watching the fucking footy now. That's what I mean. They're going to ruin it.
Is it a big birthday? It's not his 80th.
79.
This year, is it?
No, 80 next
Oh
year.
man. Oh well, many happy returns to Ed. Can we just not get a Brentford game on so he can at least watch that
Yeah.
on this on his birthday? So what team are you expecting us to put out on Wednesday night, Jules?
A shit one.
Do you know what? I don't know. It's part of it's like I actually don't know, and really, really sadly, part of it is I don't actually care. All right. Well, Alisson will play. I mean, I don't want to see. Is this what I think will happen or what I would do?
Both.
No, go with what you would do because I think what.
Okay,
what you
so
think
I
will
wouldn't be
happen.
playing. I don't want to see Szoboszlai right back. I just no, especially with like Wirtz out. No. So Gomez coming at right back. So Konate will unfortunately still have to play. Robbo in for Alberto Kirkes.
I thought he was
And
okay
then-
yesterday.
Yeah.
I thought he had a good game.
I'm not having it.
I thought
Show
he
me
was
wrong.
fine as well.
I'm not even mad that like Robbo is out of the team all the time because he is slowing down. He would need another person, but Kirkes has shown me absolutely nothing.
Costas is coming back. I read
Is
the
he?
other day, like Roma want rid of him. He's been shit.
Klopp effect.
they'll
If you're
be-
not with Klopp, you're no good.
Yeah. So he might
Um,
be back in January.
Midfield, Szoboszlai, Gravenberg, Jones. I think Jones was all right. People, right, this does happen quite a lot. People are so quick to have a go at Curtis Jones. I mean, he's not been great, but nor has he been the worst of what we've been playing. But he's always the one people will pick on at the ground before McAllister, and that really fucks me off. It's dead easy to pick on Curtis
Agreed.
Jones all the time. So I'd be playing Curtis over Maka. And then up front, I don't know, why don't you get some dice? Get a Dungeons and Dragons 20-side dice, roll it, and whatever fucking comes up, play those numbers, because they won't really matter, because no one knows who... They don't recognize each other up front anyway. I suppose Mo will... I'd play Chiesa just for the fucking vibes. Get the wee man in there. Get the vibes up. Get Chiesa in. Tell you
Yeah, I
what,
like
wait,
that.
what's the point? Where's the meritocracy in this squad, Arne? Right? He's out there fucking running his bollocks off. He's turning down playing for Italy. Do you know how much the Italians love? Dave knows how much the Italians love playing for Italy. They fucking love it. They
Just
absolutely
the opportunity to sing the anthem, never
fucking,
mind fucking playing.
with gusto doesn't
Yeah.
even cover it, right? And he's turning that shit down. Who's the Italy manager, Dave?
Gattuso.
Gattuso. How much does he fucking love it? You're turning down Gattuso to play for Italy because you're like, no, I'm not right. I want to concentrate on my club. And what's his reward?
10 minutes at
Arsehole
the end
minutes
of
when
games
we're
we're getting
losing.
beat, yeah.
Yeah, let him play. Give him the game. Give Mo a rest.
And Gamoa's only played games when we've been desperate, like chasing it and throwing him on as well.
Do you remember when
He's
he was a
got
big
no other
thing at the
minutes.
start of the season? That feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
That.
But the only minutes he gets is like out of desperation.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
part of this plan to integrate him into the team and
It's
make
not
him
a
part of
coherent
things.
team.
It's not, that,
It's
no,
not good for him because there's no coherence to what we're doing there. I mean, there's
No.
no coherence anyway, I suppose. But like, it's the old Gerard Houllier panic and put 5 forwards on and see what happens. And guess what happened? Fuck all. And guess what happens now?
He came on and
Fuck
he
all.
scored within about 10 seconds. Rio must have
Yeah.
just been thinking, yeah, fucking cheers, boss.
At least didn't get
I'd
sent off in 10 seconds.
I'd still like to see him get a start though, because it would mean that we would have finally some pace in one of those front three positions, and we could maybe get the ball forward a little bit quicker.
Can't have
while
pace
it's
when
at
you're going
somebody's
east
feet.
to west.
You know, that's it. Like I was saying this before the game. I think I was saying it to Rene. I'm not sure, but it's like it's not so much that we haven't got pace. It's that we don't play with that pace. There's no explosiveness. Like if you put like Cody Gakpo in a race with someone, he's probably going to come out like on top or right up there. He just doesn't play fast. It doesn't. Nothing that we do is explosive. And like the way it was with like Sadio and Mo and his prime and that, it's not like that. It's not that we haven't got pace. We just don't play with any pace. And when we get when the other team gets a corner, and I'd always be like, yeah, we're more likely to score from this than they are. Well, no. They're scoring from corners, and we offer absolutely fucking zero threat from counter-attacks from them.
Our counter-attacks almost certainly turn backwards.
Yeah.
There's no one who wants to like
difficult.
go on and push and beat a man.
It's really difficult to stage a counter attack when your next touch of the ball is in the centre circle with 11 players already back behind the ball.
Yeah.
Because you're kicking
so
off.
Slow fucking getting out.
No, it's because you're kicking off.
All right, yeah. Oh, from the corner, yeah.
Yeah. God, speaking of slow.
I thought you meant counter-attacks in general, but you meant from set pieces. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
from
you're
set
right, yeah.
pieces. All right. I like that one. Never mind.
I've no idea what team we'll pick because we've got. He doesn't like rotating, and the players who come in are usually shit because they don't feel like they're a part of it. They're just demotivated. So he's not making that many changes, and I don't know. We've got no right backs unless you want to put Gomez in, which he's not going to do. For me, Gomez plays centre back. I don't care who plays right back. I want Gomez at centre back, and Kanate can be fucking fired to the moon for all I care. But I wouldn't have him anywhere near the pitch. There's got to be accountability, and he's not the only one that's like not delivering. But he's by far the biggest culprit, and I don't like his attitude. But
He's like the
fucking comments on international duty about, oh, people don't know about the contract talks. I've read reports, but people don't know what's actually going on. Yeah, we do, because we've been down this road so many times with other players, and we know where it leads. It leads to fucking Real Madrid. That's where it's going.
He's not delivering. Does he work for Every or something?
Fucking
He's
should
leaving
be.
he's leaving his performances in the back garden behind the bin.
Just go and work for anybody else at this point, but not us. I'm fucking sick of it. We need all hands on deck, and we've got him just fucking mailing in performances. He's checked out. He doesn't give a shit. At this point, all we're doing is just keeping his match fitness up for the World Cup. I'd fucking bench him, and hopefully that costs him his World Cup place. Fucking teach him.
Yep, there you go. Nice. I like
So
that.
yeah, Joe Gomez, centre back. And then if anything happens to Joe Gomez, Endo, anything happens to him, Reece Williams. Just a point of principle now, I don't care, but I would not be putting Kanate in anymore.
Probably pop Gravenberg back there as well.
Yeah,
couldn't you?
yeah.
That's the normal thing. I think most of our midfield end up in the back four at some point yesterday. But yeah, weird. Okay, do you think Chiesa will get a game?
No.
No.
Lionel Hutz.
I think
Homer Simpson, sorry. No.
I think Ekitike comes in for Isak. And I think Mo and Cody keep the place. It's Cody's old team as well, isn't it?
What? Oh, no, then...
He's already faced them now. We played them last year, didn't we? And he played
okay.
away, and he got like a
What do
standing
you...
ovation.
jump back to the Forest game. What do you make about, like, you're chasing a game and you sub your £120 million new striker fairly... What was it, about the 60th minute, 65th minute?
They can hide behind the fitness excuse, though.
Yeah, but that's not good, is it?
No, it's not,
Like,
but...
it's all hands to the deck, as you said, but you're taking off this guy.
Because he got injured with last time when we played him. And Slot said something about, yeah, we probably should have played him a bit less.
The Palace game, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think it was.
Because, yeah, it was
was
Palace...
that?
No, it was Palace because...
Wasn't it a European game?
It was the one that he played because
Ekitike got sent off. It was
yeah.
Palace.
It was
Because he
he
played
played
till about the
after that,
80th...
wasn't it?
I thought
Oh
it
yeah,
was
it might have been
Palace.
Palace.
Because he played till about the 85th minute, I think.
Yeah.
It was Palace, I'm sure.
whatever it was after the game. No, he got subbed at half time. It was Galatasaray. He got subbed at half time.
Yeah, but he played like in the 85th minute at Palace.
Yeah, and then he played. He started the next game, and he got injured in the next game. He did. He
and that was
played 80 odd
Galatasaray,
minutes.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got subbed at half time with
Chelsea.
groin discomfort. So it'll have been. He started at Chelsea, then it was Galatasaray. Yeah. So they will be careful with him because he didn't play for Sweden last week because he's on a yellow card, and they didn't want him suspended for the playoff that they got no fucking business being in. Utter woke nonsense, that is. But he didn't play, so that's probably why he started this one.
I feel like I should be using the Inigo Montoya thing from Princess Bride. You keep using this word, but I do not know you. I do not think you know what it means when you keep saying woke all the time.
And Dave, Julian went to great lengths to help you out there and explain why Sweden were.
I missed all that, to be honest.
Oh yeah, of course, because you fell asleep.
I hope you have chips from the Lucky Star and you shit yourself at half time.
No, but it's a matter of trust, as I've explained before. But it's if you're putting gravy on your chips, which is the whole reason for getting.
Oh, I thought you meant about farts there.
No. With the Lucky Star, the gravy is that's the deal clincher, isn't it? The gravy's lovely. So, but it's so like dark and thick that you cannot see the chips. So the element of trust, you've got to trust that the chips aren't like all fucking green and black. And you can't be sure. That's why.
You make them sound like a leper colony. I think it's ridiculous.
It was going down that fucking road, I'm telling you.
Why don't you get your gravy in one of those little polystyrene cups? And
That's an idea, actually. Yeah.
You know what? I'd buy the
inspect
gravy in
first.
one of those polystyrene cups and just drink it.
Yeah.
Someone
On a cold day, just
someone had Bovril in front of me,
warm, and then just drink the gravy.
Someone had Bovril in front of me yesterday, and it smelled fucking lovely. Oh, it's magic. Absolutely. Well, not Bovril, it's beefy drink. Beef adjacent drink. I think you'd be all right to have that, Chris. I don't think there's any fucking meat in it. I think it's like.
No, I have a meat-free OXO. It's well nice. Tastes exactly the same.
It's probably Bovril, I think, you know.
Yeah, meat-free OXO drink is my Bovril replacement. I remember explaining to the first time to Meg about Bovril. So she was like, "So you drink gravy?"
Yes,
like, thin gravy.
Yeah. She's like, "Why are you putting salt and pepper in your coffee?" And I'm like, "It's gravy." And now she loves a meat-free OXO as well.
Delicious.
That's what happens when you cross cultures, you see. I'm not sure what I'm bringing to the table here, though. Anyway, where the fuck were we? Who plays on Wednesday, right? You were picking a team.
Yeah.
Sweden. And then... So Ekitike plays up front.
Somehow ended up back to chips. Ekitike comes in for Isak. Yep. I think Mo starts. When's the West Ham game? Is it Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday at 2:00, 2:30.
So they're probably not going to worry too much about rotation then, because you go on Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday, which is fine.
It's 2:05 on Sunday.
Is that to make sure everyone gets in, like that extra 5 minutes? We could do it. Our games kicking off at 2:05. We got in for kick-off then. Me, you, and Dad. We all missed kick-off, didn't we?
There's a Palace United game on at 12, I think. So it might be related to that. Then there's Wolves, Villa, Forest, Brighton, and that's West Ham. I tell you what, Nuno away at West Ham. That's a problem. That.
Yeah. Anyone's a problem. Is there any game that you would seriously say, yeah, I fancy us there?
No, but Big Arnie's giving it like the sort of football that's causing us problems. Well, here's fucking Nuno with the blueprint. The only thing we've got going from is that stadium's like quite soulless and the pitch is quite large. But yeah, I know I wouldn't back us to beat anybody at the moment. You're right. In the Premier League anyway. As I say, PSV is a different sort of approach.
Need that win as well, don't we? Because we're right on the cusp of that top 8 in the European Cup. Like Galatasaray are on the same points as us, and then also behind us in 11th is Barcelona, Chelsea, Dortmund.
Chelsea are second now in the Premier League.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, fucking hell, that's just like a best of the worst, isn't it? Now at the moment,
Yeah.
I can't be doing with I can't be doing with Arsenal, man.
Too
Yeah.
late.
I'm just gonna have to not watch any footy at all.
Yeah.
Just watch our games so I can write and do the pod, and then just act like all other football that isn't happening. Hate it when it's like this, when footy just seems to exist to take the piss out of you personally. Do you know what I mean? Like everything that could possibly rip on you is doing so. Like there's no joy in like a match of the day. You don't look forward to, it's a Sunday afternoon, I put the game on. Like my brother-in-law was over today because we did our little Christmas today, and he was like, oh, can you, like, because when I'm here I always sort of like just sign into my US TV subscription and plonk it on the Apple TV, and he was like, oh, can you put the football on? I just really didn't want to, and then obviously watching the Arsenal game, just getting angrier and angrier about our predicament and how strong they look and how everything they touch seems to be working out quite nicely for them at the moment. And but I guess you have to just take it on the chin, don't you? Like I think James sent something to us before, like an image of like Sam Allardyce in a Liverpool tracksuit, which, you know, on the face of it's quite funny. You just got to take it on the chin. And I'll also say again, like people call us like unbearable when we celebrate stuff. This is why you've got to celebrate your wins as joyously and as emphatically as you can when they come around, because football moves as quickly as life does. It comes at you fast, right? Like everything can change, everything can be upended in an instant, and sooner or later you could be back in these doldrums again where everything just feels fucking awful with no signs that it's going to change anytime soon. So yeah,
we could be
below
below
like
tomorrow.
If I ever get the chance.
They play tomorrow, don't they, or is it Monday?
No, they're at Old Trafford. He didn't win at Old Trafford when he's United manager. He's not winning that.
Funny all season now.
It's and modern football moves a lot faster than it used to as well. Like the news cycle, the way modern football is, there's so many games so often. It certainly seems to move at a fit. You know, things can go badly wrong, as we've seen this season, a lot quicker than it did in the past. It used to be like a slow decline. Now it's like tumbling down an elevator shaft.
Yeah, 2 defeats is like a media frenzy.
Yeah.
And then it snowballs. Whereas like it was just fairly normal at one point. Yeah, you lost a couple of games, big deal. Now when you do, the scrutiny's there.
Yeah,
but this is not 2 defeats. This is way beyond that. I think people reacting now, it's totally justified.
Yeah. Do you know the thing is, though, you look at the Premier League table, if I know, obviously, ifs and buts, but we've won 6, lost 6, no draws. If just like 3 of those losses had been wins, we'd be level with Arsenal. That's all it would have taken. But that would require competence.
It wouldn't bump its ass when it hopped.
You
know. JB sent me a stat before, and he said since we beat them, hold on, just get it up here. I like reading out my JB stats. Since we played each other, Liverpool have 9 points out of 27. Arsenal have 23 points out of 27. So it's damning. Absolutely damning.
Think about how we felt back then as well.
Yeah.
The title was ours.
The thing is, though, we weren't sure about the performances then.
I know, but when you're winning those games while you're fitting everything together,
right?
So you think, this is great. We're winning while we're figuring it out. Once we figure it out, we're going to be unbeatable. It's like, shit, yeah, we're not figuring it out.
I'm gonna say it once.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it 1,000 times. Should not have got back into Adidas, and should not definitely have had a third shirt of a fucking green kit from 1992 when we went from being good to being absolutely shit. Why are you tweaking the nipples of fate? What would you do that for?
Yeah, you have been on the Adidas thing for a while.
Oh, Adidas! Oh, look, Adidas! We're back! We're back in Adidas! How great! Adidas drop us like a fucking hot stone every time we turn a little bit shit. They go, oh no! Get rid! Go to Reebok, go to Warrior. We don't care. You're not big enough for us anymore. Go and fuck off.
I know,
and then as soon as
our mate Ben said the other week after we'd lost one of whichever game it was, there's so many, and he said like, we're going to be back in Warrior kits next season.
Yeah, well, joke's on Adidas this time because they've signed a 10-year deal, so they're stuck with us.
Yeah, you're fucking stuck with us,
dickheads.
Nice. Speaking of Ben, if you guys haven't checked out the latest issue of Blood Red yet, it's the Liverpool Echo's like monthly offshoot newspaper supplement that you can get all over the place. I got one in my little village in Ponsbury, and Dave and I are both writing for it this season, so if you like what we do on the pod, be sure to check that out. And while we're on the subject of plugging things, like we've taken out the thing that we say in every episode because we just assume that you skip through me saying that little bit about the TLW membership anyway, but that's still available if you love what we do on the pods. We offer it free of charge, and if you want to support the site in any way, that's £3 a month. You get match reports from every Liverpool game, Premier League roundups, get access to the members only forum, Dave's diary, and it's a good way to support the pod. I've got my alwaysliverpool.com Substack that I contribute to. It's once a week. It should be more, but give us a sub on that and give us a share, and it's a nice way to support what we do here at the Liverpool Way. So now I've got those plugs over, I think we might be done, boys, eh?
Yeah, and we can give Jules his bank details if anyone wants to just slip him a few quid. Pay for the analogies. Worth every penny.
Nice.
Thanks.
All right. Well, I'll be back in the US when we talk next, Dave, on after the pod, after the game on Wednesday night. So I'll look forward to that. Jules, it was lovely to see you yesterday. It's nice to see you, Dave, albeit briefly because of those bastards making us get in the ground early. But yeah, anything else you guys want to add before we call it a night?
Nah, we've been going like 2 hours.
Yeah.
People are going to see the 2 hours. They're like, fucking hell, this must be some rant about the match. And it's not. There's like all sorts of shit.
Barely talked about the match.
Talking about the match.
I slept for 10 minutes.
All
right, if you made it this far, thanks so much
Dave,
for joining
at what
us.
age did you know you were a dickhead?
He's an only child. It took a much longer time than it did for the rest of us.
Probably when I started school. So 4.
Nice. All right. One more time. Thanks so much for listening. We really do appreciate it if you stuck with us for this long. We'll be back after the game on Wednesday night, but until then, we'll catch you soon.